research on it this morning. You know how they always say, we conservatives, better not stay home, better not start a third party. You're the ones that cost us the Romney election. You're the one that cost us the Senate. That's all such crap. It's the pathetic rhino candidates that cost us elections. And it's the rhinos who stay home. I'm going to demonstrate it to you. In 2008, when Barack Obama decided to run, he was supported by scores of prominent Republicans and quasi-prominent Republicans. Susan Eisenhower, the granddaughter of Dwight Eisenhower. Colin Powell. Well, he's not the granddaughter of anybody, but you know who he is. Christopher Buckley, the bizarre son of the great William F. Buckley. Former Massachusetts Governor Bill Webb, another knucklehead. Kenneth Edelman, who was part of Reagan's national security team. Charles Freed, who was Solicitor General of the United States in the Reagan Justice Department. Jim Leitz, a Republican from Iowa. Richard Riordan, I think the last Republican mayor of Los Angeles. Bill Ruckelshaus, he's always been a big lib. He's the one that banned DDT and started under Nixon. And there were many, many others. Many others. So you have members of the GOP establishment backing Obama. And there were more. I just couldn't list them all. Then I said, let me look at some of these other races. And I recalled, and I went back and got, you have a Georgia Senate race going on now. Sam Nunn, the former senator from there, his daughter is seeking to be is the Democrat nominee, is seeking to win that Senate seat. She's been endorsed not just by word, but by contribution, by former Republican Senator from Indian A, that would be Indiana, Richard Lugar. His political action committee donated $5,000 to her campaign. And not just him, John Warner, the dim-witted senator, former senator from Virginia, who also kneecapped Ollie North when he was heading toward the Republican nomination in the Senate seat. He supported, with donations, Sam Nunn's daughter, a liberal Democrat. I thought, wow, those are like two quintessential rhinos right there, establishment types. Then we look at the Virginia Senate race. This same dim-witted John Warner has announced that he's endorsing liberal Democrat, pro-Obamacare, pro-big government, pro-big debt, pro-amnesty Mark Warner against moderate Republican Ed Gillespie. I go, whoa, what's going on here? I thought it was we, the purists. We're the ones who were against the big tent. I can't think of a single conservative in the Commonwealth of Virginia who's endorsed Mark Warner. I can't think of a single conservative in the state of Georgia who's endorsed Sam Nunn's daughter, Michelle Nunn. I can't think of a single conservative who endorsed Barack Obama. I mean a real conservative, not just a Republican, in 2008. Then I got to thinking. We just went through a gubernatorial race here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And a whole bunch of former Republican officials, existing Republican officials, RNC officials, big money guys, I believe a part owner in the Redskins, they backed this idiot McAuliffe, who's a complete circus clown and a huge lib. The mayor of Virginia Beach, a Republican, came out and endorsed McAuliffe against Cuccinelli for governor. Jim Gilmore, a former Republican governor, his chief of staff, some guy named Boyd Marcus, he endorsed him. Then you got a whole bunch of former rhino state delegates. Panny Rhodes, there's a name. Jim Dillard. Vince Callahan. Marty Williams, Brandon Bill, Robert Bluxham. Now there's a winner. That guy was even in the cabinet of the Republican governor, former Governor McConnell. You had former state senators, John Chichester, Marty Williams. I know they're no names to me too. I'm just giving you an example. You had a former national finance chairman for the RNC, Dwight Scharr, others. Big developers, home builders, guys that want lots of roads and lots of taxes and all the rest. I can't abide Cuccinelli's social positions, which he didn't even run on. But they can't abide a circus clown like McAuliffe. What is my point? I've pointed to Obama and Georgia and Virginia, and I can go through California, the way they trashed the Tea Party conservative running there. What I'm saying is this. It's the establishment neo-statist Republicans, the crony capitalists who like government, who want government, who like taxes if it can help subsidize their businesses directly or indirectly. They're the ones. They're the ones who refuse to turn out for conservative candidates. They're the ones who cut checks for their opponents. They're the ones who come out publicly and trash conservative candidates. They're the purists. It's their way or the highway, isn't it? And these will be the same people we fight to get a conservative nominee, a Ted Cruz type or a Mike Lee type, hell, whomever, a Pence type, a Walker type. We'll be fighting these guys and gals because they like to lose. McCain was their guy. Romney was their guy. And how many more Senate and House seats do we need to lose? And it's going on in Mississippi right now. Mississippi, there is no reason Thad Cochran should be reelected. The guy's been around for longer than many of you have been on this earth. He's a pork barrel guy. That's all he is. In a time when we have over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities, $7.5 trillion fiscal operating debt, the Fed's going nuts. It's time for some statesmen. It's time for some leaders. And you've got a guy who rose to the occasion, Chris McDaniel. And you know what they're doing to him? Which cut is this, Mr. Producer? That robocall. I want you to listen to this cut, this robocall, as I speak is playing all throughout the African American and black communities, as well as other communities in Mississippi, because Thad Cochran and the PAC supporting him and the people advising him, Haley Barbour's son among others, are telling him, you can't win in the Republican, with Republican votes. You need to go and get Democrats to vote in this runoff, even though they're not supposed to, even though they're pledging that whomever you vote for in a primary or runoff you're supposed to vote for in the general. They've decided we're going to go to these heavily Democrat blue communities and turn out the vote there. That's how we can win this Republican runoff, which violates state law, but it has no teeth. So they're doing robocalls into these communities that are racist, in my view. And I want you to hear this. And the reason I say they're racist is because they're essentially accusing the Tea Party of being racist. So I guess I should call it racialist, to be technically correct. Hat tip right scoop. Listen to this. Cut 5, go.
Hello, neighbors. The time has come to make a stand and say no to the Tea Party, no to their obstruction, no to their disrespectful treatment of the first African-American president. Next Tuesday, June 24th, Tea Party candidate Chris McDaniel is in a runoff against Senator Thad Cochran. If we do nothing, Tea Party candidate Chris McDaniel wins and causes even more problems for President Obama. It pushes for damaging cuts in funding to our public education system. With your help, we can stop this. Please commit to voting against Tea Party candidate Chris McDaniels next Tuesday. Say no to the Tea Party.
Well, there's many, many ways to analyze this. None of them good. So this community is being targeted by Thad Cochran and his supporters. The Tea Party is set up as a straw man against the first African-American president. Not against his views, but against a president who's black. Notice they don't mention that Thad Cochran is an opponent of Obama's policies. That never even mentioned, because he's really not in any significant way, in any effective way. So this is how, among other sleazy tactics, Thad Cochran and the boys, this is how they hope to win the runoff. I hope you folks of Mississippi are listening, because this is real sleazeball stuff. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
At this particularly patriotic time of the year, it's a good time to reflect on whether the senior organization you belong to is really looking out for the best interests of our country. Or, like the AARP, are they more interested in lining their own pockets and pushing their own left-wing agenda? Declare your independence from the AARP and give AMAC your support. I'm a proud AMAC member, and I've experienced firsthand the exclusive member discount services and other benefits. I've also seen how my membership has helped AMAC fight for the causes I believe in, both in Washington and wherever conservative principles are being threatened. Whether you're getting a membership for yourself, your parents, or even your grandparents, AMAC is the kind of conservative organization we all need to support. Please join me and over 1 million other conservatives and become a member of AMAC today. Just visit amac.us and join. That's amac.us, not .com, or call 888-262-2006. That's 888-262-2006. It's a great group. They offer you great benefits and discounts, and they're on Capitol Hill fighting for our conservative beliefs against the AARP and other leftists. So I would encourage you to take a look. Let's take a few calls here. Let's go to Scott in Mississippi. Sirius Satellite, go!
Mark Lynn, thank you for taking my call. It's such an honor to speak to you, sir. I feel like you educate me every time I turn on my radio and I get the opportunity to listen to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I just want to stress to my fellow Mississippians who may be listening to your show tonight how important it is that we get the vote turned out tomorrow for Chris and make a change and replace Thad Cochran. It's been really amazing to me, and it should be a telltale sign to everybody, the kind of people that Cochran has aligned himself with. Mayor Bloomberg from New York City, the former mayor from New York City, donating $200,000 or $250,000 to Thad Cochran's campaign. People like that. And it found it really amazing that Thad Cochran's own daughter came out with a statement about Chris McDaniel